welcome back to another episode of JR Takes, you guys. As always, Brian and I giving you the latest NFL and local news regarding Seattle sports. And we got a lot of good things happening in the Seattle sports world as of late. Number one being the Seahawks won their first game against the Steelers on the road, which your boy predicted. And then the Seattle Mariners have won 10 in a row. Just as we thought they were pretty much written off, they go and win 10 straight and are now leading the division for the first time since 2001 at this stage in the season. But we'll touch on that in a little bit, dial it back to the Seattle-Pittsburgh game. I know we kind of briefly went over we had a whole episode about it, obviously, the recap game. But a lot of good things coming from that game. Obviously, Ken Walker having his statement game. But what were your overall impressions of walking out of Pittsburgh with the dub?
I thought it was funny. Sam Darnold said after the 49ers loss, we'll bounce back. And I believe that is kind of just the simplest way to sum up how that game went, because the offense really bounced back. Really? Passing game was moving the ball up and down the field with ease. JSN is a top 5 receiver right now. Really, statistically, he's top 2 in every metric besides tutties. Mm-hmm. So my concerns heading into this season about our ability to stretch the field vertically are kind of being silenced because JSN is just turning into a all-around complete player that's mostly playing on the outside so far. And another thing I didn't necessarily know how we were going to manage with him and Cup. Offensive line is, still a work in progress, but they haven't killed us in any game. I know Abraham Lucas got bench pressed into Sam Darnold to end the first game, but really outside of that, I don't think they've been a problem. But I think the biggest takeaway is this defense is legit. Through 2 weeks, the Seattle Seahawks have the highest pressure rate on opposing quarterbacks in the entire NFL.
With the fewest blitz rate.
Yeah.
Which is you saw the same chart that I'm guessing. Was that what you brought up last week? Or was that a different chart?
Honestly, I can't remember. But
okay.
we talk about a lot of charts here on JR Takes. But they're blitzing at a rate that's only matched by the Bengals in terms of not blitzing.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean they're only rushing 4 down linemen every time. That could also mean that they have someone drop back into coverage like Leonard Williams, but also blitz Devin Witherspoon or something. That technically doesn't count as a blitz because you're still only bringing 4. Mm-hmm. So that's just a little nuance to that take, because McDonald does do some complicated stuff back there. But I guess, overall, it's unfortunate that they dropped that last-second loss to the 49ers, because I think this team has every look that you would, hope to see in a playoff contender. And that's kind of all I hoped out of this season. I didn't want it to be a lost, wasted season with the collection of young talent we have, and I think that's where we're at.
Agreed. And also, I don't know if you noticed, but we made the move to release Shaq Griffin, and we signed him to our practice squad, which tells me that Spoon will probably be playing this weekend, even though he didn't practice today. So I like where that's headed, especially against a team in the Saints who, I guess we can just go into our preview against them. They're nothing to be worried about as far as what they bring to the table offensively. They're 26th in points per game, 21st in total yards, and then they're 14th in the league in rushing at 114 yards a game. So
Kamara's a good back.
Kamara's a good back. The only thing they're top 15 in is the run game, which, 14th, but you still have to respect it. Mm-hmm. Alvin Kamara can still make you miss. And then defensively, ranked 14th in total yards allowed and 18th in points allowed. So nothing really to brag about on their end as far as offensive or defensively. What they've done so far this season, I know it's only 2 games in, but the Rattlesnake coming to town, I don't foresee him being able to. I know we haven't had the home field advantage that we've had in years past, but I would be shocked and quite frankly embarrassed if the Rattlesnake came in and beat us at home.
Well, and to go further than that, I'll be shocked and embarrassed if the stadium's full of Saints fans. Like, I know that's been a problem for a lot of opposing teams just coming in here and having basically a home game.
Yeah, but it seemed like that whole Niners thing with them having 53% of the stadium was bullshit.
Well, also, there's a lot of Niners fans in this area, like a lot of California transplants and whatnot, a lot of Bay Area transplants. So it makes more sense. I don't think there's a lot of Saints fans, period, right now outside of the city of New Orleans. But I will say this is a game we should win just purely on a talent comparison between the two teams. But the Saints have played a lot better this season than the record might indicate. They've been in every game. You were just listing their rankings among the NFL in several key categories. They're not like, scratching top 10 in anything, but they're not like bottom dwellers in really any key aspect except one, and that is pressure percentage on defense and quarterback knockdowns. They're like 31st in the league in that. So the main weakness of this Saints team is that their pass rush is anemic, despite the fact that they have a player right now on his defense. I'm struggling to remember his name, but he has 3.5 sacks, and that is currently tied for tops in the league. But that doesn't necessarily mean they've had a good pass rush.
Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, as far as the Saints are concerned, they kind of just remind me of a team based on their 2 games I've seen them playing, that they're a type of team, if you let them hang around, they'll find ways to beat you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I know they're 0-2, but they came real close to coming back against the Cardinals, and they almost beat the Niners.
Yeah.
I know Mac Jones was playing last week, but they're still the Niners.
Yeah, and I mean, his box score looked good. I didn't know that he got sacked a bunch and was holding onto the ball and basically dragging down the 49ers offense, but that's still a really good offense with anyone playing quarterback. Just it's
Are you talking about Mac Jones?
Yeah. I guess he was not as good as the box score would indicate, but I didn't watch that. I didn't watch the full game. Because that's a big difference between Purdy and his backups, is that he escapes pressure at a really high clip, So yeah, this is, you mentioned it before the show, this has the makings of a trap game setup, but again, I think it's too early to really have a trap game, period, and I just kind of don't think that that's something that is going to happen a whole lot to the Seahawks under Mike McDonald. He seems to really emphasize taking everything seriously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say the Rattlesnake has definitely impressed me so far, because it's not just looking at his numbers. If you look at the throws he's made some just impressive throws on the move into tight coverage. Perfect spot. His receivers have absolutely let him down so far this season. Like, they have, I don't know how many drops, probably approaching 10 in 2 games.
Well, and
one of them to tie the game against the Cardinals too at that.
And I don't know if you remember this. You probably do, because I feel like a lot of football fans remember their first the first appearance of the Rattlesnake was him looking really good as a young talent, but then him getting in his own way and also looking like a douchebag. And then, sure enough, gets, I think, has a couple bad games at, where was it, South Carolina or he went to Oklahoma, then transferred to South Carolina.
It was a weird journey in college for sure.
But he had the talent was there early on. We all saw it, but it's just, I feel like maybe he's a product of being in the media spotlight at such an early time in his young career that maybe it derailed him a little bit, because what he's been doing, like you've been saying, is like, okay, yeah, this is the type of quarterback play that we expected when you first emerged.
I'm going to say something crazy. He's looked better than Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams looks terrible.
Like, I know that, Caleb Williams is much more talented, but like, he's playing the quarterback position better than Caleb Williams is right now. And
what about physically?
I mean, pick your poison, man.
Yeah, do you want that or do you want undershirt Caleb? I think both are a lose-lose.
Yeah, that's not exactly lookers there. But, yeah, the problem for the Saints is they just do not have the horses, I think, to win this game. I know Chris Olave had a really good start to his career, but he's kind of been fading a little bit or just not really improving. He's definitely someone to watch out for. Juwan Johnson and him are leading the team in receptions right now. Kamara is always a threat to catch passes out of the backfield. So the last thing I would want to see happen in this game is them just dumping off a bunch of screens for like 5 to 8 yards a clip over and over again.
Or like a deep ball to Rashid Shaheed that fucking Tariq Woolen hesitates on and gives up like a 60-yard play.
Yeah, I think those are the two things that could lose us this game. So I think as long as we avoid that, should be in good shape. I'd also, Rattler's been looking good, but I think we should kind of deviate from what we've been doing on defense a little bit and actually bring the house more in this game. Not every play, but
I agree.
They're probably game planning for, they're going to rush 4. They've been doing it all season. Well, all of a sudden, if you start bringing 6, like a couple times a drive on defense, that could make them screw up. And one interception, fumble, something like that is an easy way to put this game away by the third quarter.
Well, and I don't know if you remember this game, but last year, it was early on in the season. I think it was week 2. The Broncos went into New Orleans and just absolutely shit on the Rattlesnake, and it seemed like he was getting sacked every single play. And I would like to know actually what the amount of times they brought the blitz in that game was, because it seemed like every play was rolling out 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage and getting tackled while trying to throw it out of bounds. So it's like, I agree with you. If we can bring the heat on the Rattlesnake, we'll get the dub. And the Rattlesnake has never won on the road. So
I don't know if he's won, like, at all. And I'm not just trying to be a dick. Like, I was thinking about it. Like, I don't think he's won a
Coley,
game yet.
can you look that up? Because I looked it up the other day. He has never won a road game.
Well, he only had like 4 starts last year when the Saints were like a morgue with the amount of
That's why I
injuries they
needed to
had.
check it, because I was like, I know he hasn't played very much, so that indicates to me that there's almost a very good chance he hasn't gotten a dub.
You guys want to see it?
Yeah, what do we got?
0-8.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
New
So
Orleans Saints quarterback.
he's due for a win. I just don't think it's going to be this week. And I think
Wait, this is really funny. This is AI saying the worst record in franchise history. Start their career with this team.
that's funny.
Poor guy.
I also not even like I think the Saints offense is going to make some plays in this game. I think they're going to score some points. But I don't feel like the Saints defense, outside of Cam Jordan and a couple others, has like any answer for what we're trying to do on offense. Not that the Seahawks are some elite offense all of a sudden, but they really took strides against the Steelers. And I just feel like for 60 minutes, eventually the talent gap between these two teams is going to show, and we're going to win by 10 points is my prediction.
Yeah, I disagree with you on that. I think we're going to win, but I think it's going to be a game that stresses us out till the very end for no reason. Just because, I don't know, I feel like this is almost a must-win game for the Saints because they're staring 0-3 in the face. I think they're going to give it all they have against us, and I think we're going to win 21-18.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to go 27-17.
Okay.
But I could see it being like 20-17 in the fourth quarter before we pull away kind of game. But I don't think when I first looked at this on the schedule, even just a week ago, I was like, oh, there's a 40-10 kind of game. But as I dug into the Saints, I'm like, they're actually not as bad as I thought they were. You know, like this team is showing me more than like the Dolphins are, and I'll get to it earlier, but their defense isn't great, but like the Giants defense is so bad despite their talent. There's some bad units out there right now that are just lost, and I didn't see that on either side of the ball for the Saints. I just saw not a lot of talent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that being said, we both have us getting a dub. You want to move on to the around the league and do our good, the mid, and the ugly this week?
Let's do it.
Cool. I'll go first this week. So I've got a little bit of a surprise to more than likely everyone, including myself. But I've got Daniel Jones and the Colts. And here's why. Daniel Jones went 23 of 34, 316 yards and a tutty. All right. He did. I was watching a couple of the plays during the Broncos game. A couple of the passes he threw, like he threw a deep ball to Alec Pierce. It was a little underthrown, and it was one of the Daniel Jones's better plays of the game, but thankfully he had old Alec to come back to the ball, get it, and then get into the red zone and eventually score that tutty to JT. But the Colts are leading their division. I know we played the AFC South this year, so that's, I think, when Daniel Jones will really be tested is when he plays NFC West teams. But I don't know, man. He's looked really good in the first 2 weeks to start off the year. And I know
he's looked better than he's ever looked.
The stats aren't popping, but the eye test is telling me this is a different Daniel Jones that we're seeing and could potentially be following a Baker Mayfield type blueprint or a Sam Darnold, if you will.
Well, even in the 2022 season where it was Brian Daboll's first year and people were hailing Daniel Jones' improvement, I was like, this guy's ass. Like, he's not doing anything. He threw like 14 touchdowns or something.
Yeah.
But he looks like a real quarterback right now. Like, he's making impressive
He has
throws.
the weapons.
Yeah. Maybe New York is just fucking cursed, man. 'Cause
it is.
It seems like everyone that leaves either New Jersey franchise is immediately like a star.
They put all their juju into baseball and suck at every other sport.
And those two random Eli Super Bowl runs that outside of that made no sense.
Yeah. But yeah, I got Daniel Jones and the Colts as my good this week.
Yeah, well, sticking with the color blue, I suppose, I chose the Lions for my good this week because they absolutely throttled the Bears' defense on offense. Jared Goff had 5 touchdowns, 300 yards, almost perfect passer rating. They looked like they were playing on all rookie on Madden against a team that, had the Vikings down like 20 points in the fourth quarter a week before and looked like a competent unit on defense. Just lifeless this week around for the Bears. But the Lions look like they didn't necessarily miss the guy they were playing against in Ben Johnson last week. So I feel like they answered a lot of questions about what kind of unit they will be moving forward without that coordinator. Granted, It's one game, but 50 points on a team that has shown that they can just do this when they're hot. I don't really think it's a fluke with that cohesion and personnel they have. So I threw the Lions in the bounce back good slot this week.
Nice. Go ahead and do your mid, and then I'll do mine.
Yeah, my mid. I'm so sorry, I forgot it, and I have to look at it again real quick. That's the thing about being mid is you're very forgettable, and that's right. The entire Chiefs-Eagles game. What a fucking snooze fest. That was so boring. It's tush push, tush push, tush push. Fucking Hurts can only throw for like 80 yards with all the weapons that he has and the best offensive line in the league. The Eagles defense just completely controlled this game. Mahomes can't hit a fucking deep ball to save his life anymore somehow. I don't know what happened. He's got Tyquan Thornton wide open, and yeah, he hit him later, but like there's no one within 20 yards of him, and he threw it like 20 yards past him. I don't know what's happened to Mahomes. Like, he's still a top quarterback. His deep ball has been shit for about 2 years now. And when he started in the league, that was the thing he was like amazing at. Granted, maybe that's the Tyreek Hill effect. I don't know. But yeah, I just for a Super Bowl rematch and 2 premier opponents, I thought it was a really lame game, and then so they get mid this week.
Yeah, that's fair. I like forgot that they even played each other. So there you go.
Exactly.
My mid is the Arizona Cardinals. They're 2-0, but they have 2 very ugly wins to start off the year. They almost blew it against the Panthers, who They had a 3-score lead going into the fourth quarter, and then they almost blew it by giving up an onside kick. So it's like they're making all the mental mistakes they can make. They're just somehow the other team is choosing to make more mistakes by the end of the game. And I just think the Cardinals are doing what they do every year. They look like a good team, record-wise, first 3 weeks of the year, and then they show us all who they really are. And they are inconsistent, and I think it starts with their quarterback. But yeah, I got the Arizona Cardinals as my mid. I think their 2-0 record is fraudulent, and we'll be seeing them hover around 500 a few weeks from now.
Yeah, Kyler Murray is still Kyler Murray. Marvin Harrison Jr. is like the most mediocre top receiver pick I've seen in a while. Nothing about that team is showing up as like elite playoff level. You know, like they're the Cardinals. They are who they've always been for the last 6 or so years now.
Yeah. So the Arizona Cardinals walk away with the mid this week. And then my ugly is a no-brainer for me. It's J.J. McCarthy. He looks like the worst quarterback that I can remember. He looks worse than Caleb Williams, and he beat Caleb Williams. So
yeah, add that math up.
He went 11 for 21 against the Falcons, 158 yards, no touchdowns, 3 turnovers, 2 of them being interceptions, 1 of them a fumble. QBR of 37.5.
Oof.
He just, and I don't even think that those stats tell you how bad he's been. The eye test tells you more because he's overthrowing Justin Jefferson, who's wide open. He's underthrowing him, pretty much throwing the ball everywhere that he isn't. So I mean, you look at the Vikings season they had last year, winning 14 games with Sam Darnold. I mean, I question them letting Sam Darnold walk in the offseason, and look at what's happening.
The amount of Vikings fans I saw reposting Sam Darnold highlights on social media this week has been really satisfying because now that's our guy.
Yeah, and like I predicted, you can't, when you have something, why let it walk out the door for something you don't know anything about?
Yeah, it could be anything. It could even be Sam Darnold.
Go back to Austin Wilson's fantasy team.
Yeah, well, we don't talk about his fan. This is a sports podcast, so anyway.
Yeah, for my ugly, and in a different universe where this unit wasn't so ugly, they might have been in my good. Not this side of the ball, but the Giants defense fucking blowing a 3-point lead with 26 seconds left, 25 seconds left. How do you even do that? How is that possible? They literally line up in prevent defense. Cowboys at max have 2 plays after the kickoff, and Dak's like, okay, wide open. Oh, you have the best kicker in the universe that can make a 70-yard field goal. You didn't think about that when you were doing your defensive coverage there. It was just embarrassing that this happened.
Bummer for Russ, too. He had a hell of a game.
He played.
He looked as good as he has since he was a Seahawk.
Yeah, I was going to say that was his best game probably since we played the Texans in 2017. That's how long it's been since you've seen a super elite Wilson game. That deep ball he hit to Neighbors, I felt something watching that, and I don't give a shit about the Giants. That speaks to how just it he has goosebump inducing deep balls when he's in that mode, and I feel like we haven't seen him in that mode in so long, and it was just a bummer to see it end the way it did. Also,
Brandon Aubrey.
Brandon Aubrey is
he's like a robot.
I've never seen anything like this before. The fact that you can have a kicker reliably make mid-60-yard field goals, that used to be impossible. That was impossible for most of my time watching football. It's crazy.
Not to mention the story of how he became an NFL kicker. Didn't he just literally get up off his couch and start kicking 60-yard
he wasn't
field
a
goals?
pro soccer player, but he was a soccer player, college level athlete.
Yeah,
because
he's
right?
30.
Yeah. So I don't know.
He's the most accurate kicker in NFL history.
All of my bored soccer players out there, if you want to make $1 million, just follow his playbook because that's
he also
fucking
hits the
insane.
wall. It, like, if you look at it,
No, that legit might have been good from 74 yards.
Yeah, because it goes and it bounces off the wall right there. Yeah, it actually hit
that had like at least 10 more yards of distance in it, which is insane. It's ridiculous. And I don't know. I feel like the Giants, I don't know what they're doing over there. Drafting Jackson Dart, signing Russell Wilson. You'd have like one of the more expensive defensive groups. You just drafted Abdul Carter. You have Kayvon Thibodeau, who's like, one of the top pass rushers from a couple of years ago. And your defense is this shit? Like, how? It's mystifying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't care about the Giants, so I'm happy to anytime, like every year they suck, I'm like, good, perfect, right where the NFL should be.
But on to the power
with that being said, yeah, we'll now shine light on the better teams in the NFL. Not a whole lot changed for me. I took the Bengals moved down a little bit. They're still in my top 10 because they're 2-0 this year. To start off the year, rare sighting from them that they've won their first 2 games. They looked terrible early on, seemingly since they've had Joe Burrow, so it's good to see them at 2-0, but they lost Joey B. So it remains to be seen how long they will stay there. But Jake Browning is like an anomaly to me because when he was at UW, I was like, this guy's not an NFL quarterback. And fast forward to today, it seems like he has, like, the first time around when he was the backup, he looked like a different player.
It's wild because I agree with you. When I watched him, I'm like, yeah, he's an all right college quarterback, but he just literally does not have the skill set to be an NFL quarterback. He has a noodle arm. He's not a big guy. But he's evidently spent all those years as, practice squad backup quarterback studying and training and, learning the position more. Because whenever he comes in for the Bengals, I know he's thrown to a good supporting cast, but he moves the ball. And it's not like their protection has been great. I mean, Joey Burrow is in surgery because of his offensive line. So, yeah, I think they're still going to be a good team. They fell out of my top 10 this week just because of the Joe Burrow injury, and I want to see how they go down the stretch with Browning. But, yeah, he's definitely one of the better backups in the league.
Yeah. And then I got the Colts sneaking their way into the top 10. I'm just so surprised. Well, I'm not that surprised, but I'm just like, it's amazing to see. I mean, everyone in the offseason was like, oh, could Shane Steichen revamp Daniel Jones' career in Indianapolis? And I'm like, okay, yeah, you can say that and it sounds nice, but like doing it is another thing. And seeing Daniel Jones be able to actually get the ball to his playmakers and weapons, this is like something we haven't seen before, and I'm wondering how long it'll last because it's impressive.
It is wild, and it kind of just continues this theme of guys like Geno, Baker, Sam Darnold, who have moved around after kind of being busts early on in their career and suddenly found success. Granted, it's only a 2-game sample size, so let's like hold our horses on that note. But I mean, I think it's legit how good he's been playing. Like I don't know. He seems to have found something in this offseason.
Yeah, and it kind of seems like the way Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, Geno, all these guys that are revamping their careers, I feel like it's definitely a testament to like giving up. Well, and how much of a timetable you have as a rookie quarterback. You get what, a year and a half max, and if you're not performing, they'll replace you. And it's like all these guys that are having second half careers, it's probably because they were given up on too early.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it too is, I mean, some organizations are just horribly ran and they can't develop quarterbacks because their culture is too toxic and they don't have patience and the right environment for them to grow and thrive in.
Right.
But yeah, I agree. I also had the Colts sneak into my top 10. I'm not going to have them any higher than 10.
Yeah, that
anytime,
was me too.
Maybe ever.
The Chiefs are higher than them for me, and they're 0-2.
Yeah,
So.
I have the Chiefs right above them actually.
So the Chiefs are 0-2, but they're just still up there for you guys.
They lost to the Ravens, or I mean, they lost to the Chargers, and they lost to the Eagles. Those
Yeah.
are 2 top 5 teams. For
Yeah,
me.
both of us have those 2 teams in our top 4. So I'm not gonna peg them down too much for what they've.
Lose this week.
If they lose this week, then
they're out of the top 10.
Yeah,
and for sure.
I mean, I don't know if Russ plays like how he did against the Cowboys again. They could lose because
That would be so fun. They're playing the Giants.
yeah,
Oh, dude.
and they're playing in prime time. And I mean, honestly, Neighbors is maybe the best receiver in the league right now, the way he's playing. And I mean, Russ can get the ball to him in a way that I don't think Giants fans have seen thus far in Neighbors' career. So it's not like it's impossible. I just think the Giants' defense is so bad that even this terrible Chiefs offense is going to do whatever they want. But yeah, biggest change in this week's power rankings for me, I think, is the Rams going into top 6. They look as good as ever, man. Matt Stafford is playing as good as ever. I hate it. I don't like it. I don't want to talk about it more than I have to, but I got to acknowledge the reality that we live in, and that's the Rams are one of the best teams in the league. Lions getting back into the top 10. I have them over the Bucs just because I think overall they're a better team than the Bucs right now, but I think the Bucs are kind of a sleeper pick to make some noise this season because they look legit.
Yeah, I really like the Bucs. I have the Packers at 3 because what did I say last week? The Packers were my good. Their defense looks legit. They finally beat the Lions. It didn't beat them at all last season. And they kind of took it to the Commanders and made the Commanders look like they have looked for the past 2 decades. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I think the Packers are the real deal and maybe the best team in that division.
Yeah, I'm right with you. I mean, the Vikings look lost right now. I mean, I know they had that crazy comeback against the Bears, but both those teams don't look good.
Yeah.
And then the Lions, I just feel like we just saw them play the Packers and look what happened. So, yeah, I mean, I think if you're one of those people out there that was picking the Packers instead of the idiot pick of the Bears in the offseason, you're looking pretty smart right now, especially after the Micah Parsons trade. That has really just amped up this defense's ceiling, and it's kind of making me wish we could have made a similar move, but alas.
Yeah, alas, here we are. But that's kind of all I had for power rankings and NFL news this week. If you wanted to brush up on anything else.
I think I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. It was a fun slate of games last Sunday, I will say, though. Lot of crazy finishes, a lot of entertaining games, and that's why it was funny, like I got my eyes glued to the screen for the Giants and Cowboys and the Panthers and Cardinals, and they're putting on the Chiefs Eagles, and I'm like, get this out of here. I don't care. Like, this is boring as shit.
Yeah. No, I know. And for me personally, like, it was awesome watching the games because once 1 o'clock rolled around and the Hawks game was over, we got to flip the Mariners game on. And they were playing the Angels, finished a 4-game sweep on them, and put up, I think it was 11 runs on Sunday. They've won 10 in a row. This is pretty... 3-2 in the bottom of the...
But so Royals scored 3 or ran 3, and then we just have 2 runs right there.
Who's on the... Is Luis Castillo pitching? I swear to fucking God if he's pitching right now.
I'll find that out.
So go to players, or actually go to box score. Can you do that?
Box score.
Yeah, go down.
Oh, right.
And then click on that arrow right there.
Oh, this thing.
I don't know.
This is painful.
Yeah.
But whoever is pitching, it's probably Luis. That's probably why they got 3 runs. But the fact that they won yesterday, huge road win. We only have 11 games left. They've been terrible on the road. 5 of the games left are on the road, and then we finish up against the Rockies, who are one of the worst teams ever, and then the Dodgers. So, I don't know. I'm seeing us down 3-2, not concerned at all. Cal Raleigh tied Ken Griffey Jr. with 2 home runs yesterday, 56. Most in franchise history, so I'm not concerned. In fact, I'm expecting him to hit another dinger today.
Yeah, and I mean, that game was in like the second inning, I think? Second inning?
Yeah,
third.
end of the second, so
who cares if they're down by a run? They can come back. They
Yeah.
can bounce back.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, winning 10 in a row, this is the perfect time of the year to be doing that. And it's unfortunate that our competition seems to be winning as well in the Astros. I know we have a half game on them right now, but I just wish they would start losing because I just feel like we need a little breathing room for error.
We do, and the fact that the Guardians won yesterday against the Tigers and the Rangers lost, like the Rangers are pretty much out of it. They're like they're 4.5 behind us. It's a tall order for them, especially with all of our recycled players. They have Dylan Moore, Rowdy Tellez, and fucking I almost said Ian Haggerty, Sam Haggerty. But yeah, the Rangers, I almost want them to win today just so we can get another game cushion on the Astros. But yeah, I'm liking where we're sitting, 11 games left, and hopefully we can come back against these Royals and win today because they're pretty much out of it now with their sub 500 record. So take care of business today, win the series, and yeah, things are looking up for the M's.
Yeah, it seems to me like, I mean, I think it's kind of a given that they're at least going to make the playoffs this year, but I want the division, man. Knowing how long it's been, I'm like, we need to break that streak.
I agree, but the thing is because the Guardians won again last night, they are, if we were to go on a losing streak and they were to like win 2 in a row, we'd basically be neck and neck with them for the last spot in the wild card. So we also need the Red Sox to keep losing because they have the second wild card spot and we have the same record as them right now. So we need them to start losing.
It's a tight
games.
race here.
It's super annoying.
Like 2 weeks left to go? Yeah. Like nothing is.
It's exciting but also annoying. Like, can we for once have some time to breathe?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was all I had. Hopefully we can get the dub today against KC. But looking forward to the weekend slate of games and seeing where we're at Sunday afternoon after the games.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Cool. Well, thanks for stopping by, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yep, see you next time.